Wait, where am I? You can't see me. You can't see me. Look at me. That's a good life operator.
Cancel it. Take it back. That's good. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PB&J Kids Show. I'm Pastor Stephen.
I'm Pastor Kevin. We got some shout outs. Looks like Campbell's here, Anna's here, Charlotte, Emmeline, Blythe is here. Blythe, we're doing something now. We're sorry that you had to sit and watch the 3 minutes of that. I think we're doing something now. It's good to have you guys.
And we've got
We got who is on
Cobby's
YouTube?
on YouTube.
Cobby's on YouTube. Hey, Cobby.
and we've got Maddie and Greta here live on the set. They're going to help us out this morning. So, in saying that, guess what today is? You know?
What's today?
What is it?
Game
It's
day.
game day! Yes. So it's game day. So we're going to be playing some games. We've got some help with that. So, and we may do this next week as well. So be following along for that. So it's game day. So we're going to have some fun with the girls and just have a good time today. As PB&J says, we're praising, believing, and we're just having fun. So we're going to do all three of those things today. So
Before that, we're going to start with
our
breaking news around the church. This week, we're coming to you with some really good news. This week, a few people celebrated birthdays. Dr. Will Harris had a birthday on Monday. Yay! You know what's really cool?
what?
He actually celebrates the same birthday with his son, too.
Brady.
So
Yeah,
Brady's
Brady
birthday was Monday.
turned 3.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
hey,
Brady.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So I FaceTimed Brady on his birthday, and the only thing I got was a picture of him with his new remote control digger in his sandbox. He wouldn't even talk to me. He was so happy about that digger. So happy birthday, Brady. So we've heard a lot of good things out of you guys that have been working on your Awana projects. You've been memorizing scripture. You've been working through your workbook. So that's good news that you guys are still doing Awana. We hope to be able to get you back in the building very soon to where we can start doing Awana again. But keep it up. We're challenging you. You guys are doing a great job, and we thank you for doing that.
And if you'd like, you can always record one of your verses and send it in to us, and we can share it with everyone. So don't forget that you can do that.
That's right. We'll share it next week. We had a great week last week celebrating the Week of Love. A lot of you guys sent cards. You visited your neighbors. You did rocks and sidewalk chalk and all that stuff. So we want to give you a hand and celebrate that you did a great job last week. Now this week, if you saw Pastor Stephen's Where in the World is Pastor Stephen video, he didn't travel very far.
No, I did not have to go far. I saved the church a little money.
That's right. He just walked out the front door and turned around and he was there. He did it from the front of our church. He did it from the front of the church because he was sharing with you guys the really good news that we're doing drive-in church.
Drive-in church. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah.
At 11:15 on Sunday morning, you'll have time to do Sunday school on Zoom and then come to the parking lot.
So how's this going to work? How's drive-in church going to work?
The easiest thing is you're going to drive in and somebody's going to tell you where to park. You're going to say, okay, I'll go park there. You'll sit in your car. You'll tune a radio.
So what? I'm not going to get my favorite parking spot?
Well, it depends on how early you get here. So the earlier you get here. But we're going to be setting up right outside the church office. So you'll be able to see everywhere we've got parking. You'll be able to see exactly what's going on. But the cool thing is we have a thing where you can turn your FM radio to a certain dial and you'll be able to hear everything we're doing. So you'll come in the parking lot, find a parking spot, maybe on the grass or over in the parking lot. You'll be able to turn your radio and you'll be able to hear and worship. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do ask that we remember just to be safe. You can roll your windows down. You can wave to people, things like that, but we're going to be really safe when we do that. So
we're
that's
encouraging
exciting news.
to stay in their car. So stay in your car. You don't need to get out and run around. There'll be a different time for that. But this time, just come in, park, stay in your car, turn your radio on, watch and listen to us live. So
we're just excited to be able to see you, even if you're sitting in your car.
Are we going to have music?
We're going to have music. We're going to have
the
worship.
Team is going to be.
Yep. We'll have a children's time.
Yep.
And then Pastor Chuck will bring a message. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be good to get out of the house and be able to see our Christian friends again. So one really good thing this week, I heard that Kendall Hilliard was awarded the Seven Lakes Dentistry Scholarship. So she got $1,000. Way to go, Kendall. And our last good news of the week is really exciting. Some of you may have seen last week that Mr. Rodney posted at the end of our show last week. But Rodney and Carol Sweat announced this week or gave us some news that that Carol's cancer has gone into remission. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's some good news.
So that's a praise. We say go God for that. A lot of you have been praying for her, and that's an answered prayer, and God's working in their life. So we're so excited about that. So that's some good news for this week.
So what did we say today was? Game day! Game day, all right. So, Tori, you might have to get the camera in a little bit for the TV, a little closer for them. We played the game where you had to name that. What did we have them name that time?
Name that candy bar.
Name that.
That's right.
Oh, good job. Name that candy bar. Well, today we're going to do name that snack. All right. So it's not necessarily a candy bar. It's going to be a snack. So it's called name that snack. So what you're going to do is you're going to see a snack, for example, like the one I have on the screen. All right. So your job is to comment what you think that snack will be. All right, or what it is. So if you see that snack. Can everybody see that snack? Girls, do you know what that snack is? Does anyone know
Maybe
what that?
a fake apple.
A fake apple?
Fake
No,
apple.
no
Like
fake
an
apple.
apple.
No. Does anybody know?
Pepper.
So just to help you out, so this one is, Pastor Kevin, do you know what this one is?
Well, I actually saw your next slide.
Oh.
But they just saw it online, so give them a
okay,
second. Does
so
anybody know what this might be?
So
See if you can comment and figure out what this snack is.
anybody? I don't particularly like these snacks. I have to be honest. I don't like them.
It's not Jello. It looks a little bit like
It's
Jello.
not
Anybody got any guesses, comments?
It's not my
Pastor Chuck,
favorite
have we
thing.
got any guesses on YouTube?
Anybody?
No
Bobby
guesses yet.
doesn't
A
yet?
gummy?
Something. It is a little gummy. It's sticky. It's fruity.
Blythe thinks it's caramel. It's kind of
It
chewy like
is
caramel.
it is like caramel, and it might. But this is
What do you think?
this is actually a fruit roll-up.
roll-up.
Fruit
Oh,
roll-up.
okay.
That was a fruit roll-up.
All right, so you
Yeah.
see where we're going.
So that's how we kind of do this. So let's get started. Here we go. Here's the first one. All right. Name that snack. All right.
Peanut butter?
It's not peanut butter. You gotta look closely. Look over at the side of the edges of it. I like this one. Maddie thinks she knows. Maddie, what? Tell your dad to type it in for you. What it is? An orange? No, it's sliced up like an orange. Let's see. Anybody? Anybody? Does anyone know this snack?
What?
Oh,
This is a zoomed in. Oh, Miss Marcia in the house.
oh.
That's right.
What did she say?
Miss Marcia said Pringles.
Pringles.
That's right.
Maddie, is that what you said? No.
Oh, okay.
Pringles.
Anna came in with Pringles too.
Good job, Anna. All right, here's name this snack. Yummy. This is one that was probably in a lot of your lunch boxes when you were going to school.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Can you tell what this one is? Maddie, come on. All right.
Got a couple people think they might know what it is.
Let's see. Name that snack. Anybody got it?
Not yet.
Oh, come on.
Marcia's good.
Marcia knows her snacks.
so
Oh, she is
good.
a snack queen. I want to go to her house and see what's in her cabinet.
So Marcia and Chuck both said oatmeal
Actually,
cookie.
a lot, because all
It
we
is
do
an
all day
oatmeal
is
cream
eat.
pie, a little Debbie snack cake. Yes.
So
All right.
a lot of people think I'm weird, but I love oatmeal cream pies with orange juice. Just try it. Try it.
Try
I
it with
promise.
orange juice.
Just try it.
I don't know. Try it with orange juice.
That's
Okay.
cheesy.
I'm not saying that I'm not going to be weird after you
That's
try it, but
cheesy.
you just need to try it.
One of our folks inside the
I don't
room
get it.
here has already called out what this one is.
Because,
So it must have been.
because like my sisters eat it like every day, so I'm
So
kind
what?
of used
So
to
what?
it.
So what are they? What are they again? Greta. Greta
Cheez-Its.
immediately knew this one.
So you know,
It's a
you
Cheez-It.
see a lot of
immediately
Cheez-Its.
knew
You
it
see a
when
lot
I
of
looked at
Cheez-Its.
it. Yeah, because technically our pantry never has no cheese.
All right, Greta, come over here so you can get on the camera over here.
All
We're gonna.
Always
So out
has a cheese.
while they're moving, what's your favorite flavor of Cheez-Its?
All right. So,
Comment down below your favorite
I
flavor.
don't eat cheese.
Greta, talk to that camera right there. Tell them
I don't eat cheese.
what
You don't eat
what
cheese?
other kind of snacks are in your cabinet. Tell everybody what are your snacks at your house.
Z bars and Cliff bars and a lot of chips and there's
chips.
A lot
Obviously,
of
Pringles,
cereal.
oatmeal
A lot of
cookies, and
cereal,
Cheez-Its,
a lot of
Marcia
cereal.
got them right.
Okay, so you're going to need to know those cereals a little bit
Yeah,
later.
see,
when
white
you play
cheddar,
the
that's
game.
my favorite too. The
All right.
white cheddar
oh yeah,
Cheez-Its.
we always have cereal.
All right, Greta, it's our
Right.
time. You can go back and sit.
We have like a full
Go ahead.
box in there.
All right.
My dad buys it.
Camera's off, Greta. She's taking over. All right, so it was Cheez-Its. All right, now here's one of my favorites. All right, don't yell, Greta. Don't yell out what this one is. Give them a chance.
I don't know what that
Oh, you don't know what that one is.
is.
This one is a little harder. Now, I don't like this one.
Is that
plain.
zoomed in?
It is
No,
zoomed in, yes.
Ah, okay.
So, I like mine with the little chocolate chips in it, the chocolate in it. So,
So going back right quick, Miss Susan Pearson said she likes the burned one, the burned Cheez-Its, like the really crispy ones. I don't know. Do you dig through the box and just find?
yeah, how
those
do you,
and throw the
do they
rest of
sell
them?
those?
I don't know.
Ooh, let's get the, oops.
No, there's a
I don't know.
box.
I don't know.
So what do we think this is?
Anybody know what this one is?
No.
Maddie, do you know what this one
Is
is?
it like
Anna, does anybody know? Mmm.
is it some sort of cookie?
Maddie's talking to Pastor Chuck to send in a guess.
I don't know what happened to my slide 5, so I know what this one is, though. This one is, anybody guessed it yet?
Somebody said cheese puffs. Miss Pearson,
I
Susan
guess
said.
I could see that, the inside of a cheese puff.
Susan said they sell the double crispy Cheez-Its. Those are the ones she likes.
Oh, wow. She'll have to drop some off one day.
Cheese puffs. I don't know. I don't see
This-
the hold on. I don't see the next slide.
The next
so-
slide is disappeared on us, but this is a Rice Krispie treat. That is a Rice Krispie treat. Yeah,
It's
can
orange.
you could probably
Okay,
see it a little better
we
on
just-
my. It is orangey on the screen there, but on the computer you could probably.
Is this one
You
that's
just
been
wanted to get
sitting
back
out
in
for
the
a while?
camera, didn't you? Well, there's Maddie. All right.
Has this been sitting out for a while?
I don't know what the deal is with that one, but that is a Rice Krispie treat. That's the reason I said I like the one with the chocolate chips in it.
Oh, okay. All
All
right.
right. So for our younger folks out there, you might not know this one, but moms
Wait,
and
oh
dads,
yeah, I know what that is.
grandmas, you might know what
We
this
have
one
it
is.
in our pantry.
You know what these are. Now I want the what they are. All right. So this one should be a little easier for some of you to
Pastor Chuck
recognize.
said cinnamon toast crunch. That's good. But
That's good,
not
but
it.
there's not much.
Those are good.
Yeah, that's not it.
Mom
That's-
says to me,
Life
it
cereal,
looks
no.
What's your mom say?
Life.
Live cereal.
So I'll give you a hint. Think cheese whiz or cheese spray. The canned cheese that goes with these.
Wait.
These are more of a cracker.
Yeah.
So these are more
Yeah.
of a
The
cracker.
Pearson girls got it right.
What did they say?
They said a Triscuit.
A Triscuit. A Triscuit. It's a Triscuit. You ever
That's
had
right.
Triscuit? Greta, you ever had a Triscuit?
No, we don't have. We don't have.
So-
Don't have
no,
Triscuits.
Is this like the ultimate snack guy? Is that
Yeah, I mean,
This guy's got
doesn't
it.
it look cool?
this guy's got every snack
He's
on the wall?
got him with his remote control. Dude.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, look at this one.
What is this?
Oh, what is that? Yeah. Ooh. What is that?
I feel like I've seen that before. What?
You
Me
probably
too.
have seen
I've
this
seen
one
that
before.
recently. I
Recently?
recognize it, but I don't know what.
Anybody? They have them with different flavors. You could have strawberry,
Strawberry are my
apple.
favorite. Yeah.
They're actually blueberry ones, and then the common one that's I don't like I don't like the main ingredient
Yeah.
for most of them.
All right. So Marcia and Anna and Pastor Chuck, all of them got it right.
So it is
A
Fig
fig.
Newton. Fig Newtons, yeah. The Fig Newtons with the apple and the strawberry and the different flavors I'm okay with, but the figs.
The strawberries are good.
I'm not a big fan of that one. All right, everybody should get this one. All right, everybody should get this one.
That's a girl.
This is like almost the most common
Snack.
snack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah. So what is this?
What do you think, girls?
yeah. Animal crackers.
Animal crackers.
That's right.
There it is.
Animal
crackers.
cookies, that's
Oh,
right.
he has his remote control with
Yep,
him.
he had it. He has his remote control with him.
Oh,
Right.
oh. That's so yummy.
They think they know this one. The girls are running to tell what this one is.
It's so easy. I love those.
You love those.
I always ask my brother to
Yeah,
get
what are these?
them.
Come on. Anna, you know these. Anybody? So, Maddie, what did you say these were?
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Yummy.
And the next snack is like the church snack, all right? So, here it is.
Oh, that's easy.
Everybody's got
I
this
don't
one.
know.
I think there are tons of, you find these in the seat of your sofa.
Oh, that's easy
Yeah,
now.
this one's easy
Actually,
now.
use these from our children's sermon
Yes.
this past week.
Okay.
That's right.
So this is the church snack.
Yeah.
You've ate a lot of these here at the church. So
I
you should know.
love them.
Are they getting it? Are they getting it?
Yep, we got goldfish, 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 goldfish.
Goldfish.
That's
That's
right.
it. So goldfish. So that game was called Name That Snack. So that was pretty easy, all right? So Tori, get ready for the camera because we're actually going to do something with the girls now. So the girls are going to play a game for us, and it's called the Pie Face game, all right? So you guys have probably played the Pie Face game. So we're going to let the girls do that. So because we're being good about making sure everything is clean around here for these girls, we're going to make sure everything is sanitized.
Which version are we gonna play?
All right, so here's the rules. All right, as Pastor Stephen's cleaning that. What we're going to do is give you a category, and you're going to go back and forth naming things in that category, and whoever can't think of one, then you have to spin the wheel, and that's how many times you twist it, okay?
Okay.
And we got shaving cream, so we're giving you goggles. We don't want it in your eyes, but we do have shaving cream today. So, for instance, like if Pastor Stephen and I were playing and we said colors, I would say purple, he would say
Green.
blue.
Pink.
Time's up, and he couldn't think of one, so then he would have to spin, sit down in front of the pie face, and do
Spin
whatever,
it
however many clicks, okay? All right. So you know the rules? All right, your first category is...
And I'm going to be the timekeeper. We're going to give them how many seconds?
Probably give them 5 seconds.
5 seconds at the most,
Yeah.
all right?
So things you put on a hamburger.
Cheese.
Well, let's
Okay.
go.
All right, Greta.
Greta.
Greta started, so now you have 5 seconds to think of something you put on a hamburger.
Lettuce.
Okay, Greta?
Tomato. Patty.
Like a hamburger
Yeah.
pie? Okay, we'll give you that.
Oh. I don't know.
Time's up.
Oh, time's
All right.
up.
All right,
All right, so she's spinning it, and she's got to click it 2 times. So get in there. Oh, the first one. Got her.
See?
I didn't really get. Oh, yes. Should I go to the bathroom and wash it?
No, you
No,
just
no,
get
no,
a paper
no.
towel right there. You'll get
There you go, there you go.
you'll get splattered again, I'm
Okay.
sure. All right, so this one, all right, this one's kind of in your wheelhouse. I think y'all should really get this one.
In what?
This means that this should be really easy for you guys, okay? So we'll start with Maddie this time. Whenever Greta gets ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Disney princesses.
Oh.
Go, Maddie.
Jasmine. Belle. Aurora. Ariel. I don't know.
Keep going. Keep thinking. You got time.
Oh, you don't even.
Tiana.
Okay.
Pocahontas.
All right.
Sailor. I can't say it. I know. She's
You're trying to say Cinderella?
Yeah.
All right,
Mulan.
go. Okay.
I think that's all. Wait, no. There's one more.
Time's up. All right, Maddie.
All
All right. Spin it, Maddie. Spin it right there, Maddie. Spin the dial. See how many clicks you got. Ooh, 5.
All right.
5 clicks. Get your face all the way in there.
2, 3,
3,
4, 5.
Oh! You got away with it. All right. Okay, so the next one is types of cereal.
Lights.
Okay?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Crave. What's it called? Chex.
Okay.
I know. Oh, Rice Krispie treats.
Rice Krispies, okay.
Yes, Rice Krispies.
Yep.
Lucky Charms.
All right.
I don't know. I know one more. Wait, I know.
All right, Greta, spin it. She spins a 4.
Oh my
All
God.
right, get your face in there. 1, 2.
I'm just gonna write this off and spot it. Oh my goodness.
All right.
You're getting it in your hair.
Now she's just messing
Oh,
with
wait.
it.
Wait, where are
All right, so get you a paper towel.
Do you need some help? Yes. Wait.
There you go. There's the trash can, too. So, that.
Oh my gosh. This is
All right.
pretty sticky. Missy X. Oh my. I can't really see.
Well, you just
That's
have to
all
sit
right.
there.
You don't have to see to think
That's
of
right. You're
the
just
next
gonna-
category.
Yeah, I need to wipe off my face.
All right, you ready?
You know, I don't.
Well,
I don't.
you
All right, we're starting with Maddie this time. How about superheroes?
Oh, Batman.
Okay.
Spider-Man. Wonder Woman.
All right.
Supergirl.
Okay.
Superman.
Oh.
No, sure is that.
I'm sure there's people shouting at their computers.
Batgirl.
Okay.
Batman. Wait, no, I already said that.
Yeah.
No, my hands are like dirty.
Oh, time's up. All right, Maddie, spin the doll. See what you got. She got a 3.
3.
Oh,
All
you
right.
might get it. Maddie hasn't got it yet. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
Woo!
shoot,
Yeah,
Matt.
she was quick.
All right, girls. You ready?
My hand smells like shaving cream.
All right. Books of the Bible. Go, Stella.
Genesis. Exodus. Leviticus. Numbers. Deuteronomy. Psalm. Joshua. Revelation. Judges. Matthew. Mark. Acts. Revelation.
She already said that.
Oh, Psalms.
Yep, she already said that too. You got 5 more
Better
seconds.
hurry.
Hurry.
How about the buzzer bell went off?
All right, Greta.
I know I'm gonna get splattered again.
Greta's gonna spin it, and she gets a 5.
Oh,
One, 2.
Again?
Don't spread it. Just
You know,
wait
I'm
for
just
it.
gonna keep it on my forehead. Because I want it. No.
All right, while they're cleaning up, I want you to be thinking, okay? Subjects in school. Don't say any yet.
Oh.
Subjects in
So
school.
classes in school that you go to. And we'll start with Maddie. All right, you ready, Maddie? Greta, you ready?
No, I'm not ready yet. I need to wipe off my forehead. It's like,
You're just going to get more on your forehead.
okay, no, just keep it.
All right, you ready? All right,
My
subjects
mom
in
doesn't
school.
want me to keep it.
And this is going to be our last
No.
round. Our last round.
All right.
So Maddie might get away clean on this.
All right, here we
So
go.
subjects in school. Go, Maddie.
Science, math, Bible. Bible?
She goes to
Yeah,
Christian
she
school.
goes to Bible school.
Social studies, grammar, literacy. I don't know.
Pastor Stephen's favorite one, lunch.
That's right. And recess.
That's not a class.
Look, she got a 6. Oh, wow. Woo! Go, girl.
Go, Maddie. What did she get? 5?
There's not even a 6 on it.
All right, Maddie, do it.
It was a 5. See, look. There you go.
All right.
6.
What?
What? You are so good. Oh, man.
I wanted to get pie.
Well, that's the reason I said 6.
All right, the
Put it
next,
in there.
the next category. Hold on. Oh. The next category is things Greta did yesterday. Go. Go, Greta.
Play with my friends. Did Chalk City.
Maddie, you're
I
done.
don't know.
Oh, she doesn't know. Rick it.
Say it again. Oh, 5 again. Oh, go,
All
girl.
right, go, Maddie.
Oh, 4. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
How many do you want? I think it's like one more
No,
time.
that's it. All right, you two can go get cleaned up if you'd like.
In the bathroom?
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Thank
Go ahead, go ahead.
Daddy, I need to keep these on.
Yep. We're gonna do now it's time for our skit. All right.
All right,
So
that was the J in PB&J because
Yeah.
that was just fun.
that was just fun. So. It's taking too long.
Well, hey there, Toby. What you doing?
Waiting, and it seems like forever.
What are you waiting for?
This plant to finish growing. I planted it a whole month ago, and it's just not growing much at all. Do you think they will give me my money back?
Looks like that plant's growing just fine.
Well, I don't think so. I want it to be 10 feet tall by now. It shouldn't take this long to grow up.
Really?
Yeah, who's got time to wait on a tree to grow this slowly? I think it's defective or something. I've been watching it for the past 2 hours and it hasn't grown any.
Well, some things can't be watched, Toby. But believe me, that little plant really is growing. It just grows on its own good time.
Well, how long will it take before it becomes a big tree with apples? I've always wanted to grow my own apples. I love them. But at this rate, I'm never going to get any from this plant.
Yes, you see, Toby, you will, but just not this year. See, apple trees take about 3 or 4 years before they produce apples.
You're kidding, right? 3 or 4 years? I'll be as old as you, Jan, by then.
Believe me, Toby, waiting on those apples will be worth it. And no, you won't be that old by then. Just a little wiser, maybe.
But why does it take so long? Why can't it grow any faster? Can't scientists just program it to grow faster and make bigger apples? That would be cool, right?
No, Toby, that would not be cool. God designed things to take time. His time. When we try to speed those things up, do you remember your sister's cake experiment last month?
The one where she turned the cooker all the way up so it would cook faster in the oven?
Yeah, do you remember how it turned out?
Awful! That thing was like a rock, a big black rock too, burnt all the way through. She tried to cover it up with frosting, but we could smell the burntness all over the house.
You see, you just can't rush some things, like growing and changing. God actually tells us in His Word, the Bible, that beautiful things take time.
Well, if my sister is hoping that all those hours in front of the mirror are making her beautiful, well, someone needs to have a talk with her.
Toby, you can't measure growth with a watch. In another month, that little plant will double in height. Then in a year, it'll be budding beautiful flowers, but not with apples yet. Then 2 years later, some small apples will appear, but not for eating. And then the next year, some big, beautiful apples will be ready for you to pick and eat right on the spot.
Now you're talking. But why does it take so long?
That's just the way God made things. That's how God made you, too, to slowly, carefully, patiently grow up. And you're doing a pretty good job lately.
Well, thanks, Jan. By the way, I understand that this Sunday we finally get to come back to church. It seems like forever since we got to be in church.
Well, Toby, we're getting to meet at the church this Sunday at 11:15 a.m. But we won't be meeting inside.
What? We will not be meeting inside? Well, then where will we be?
We're actually going to have a drive-in church service. That means we'll come to church, find a parking spot, stay in our cars, and listen to the worship service on the radio.
Now,
I'm not sure how that works.
But that sounds awesome. So I guess I'll have to be a little more patient as I wait for us to get to meet inside the church again.
That's exactly right. Glad you were listening.
Well, thanks, Jan.
All right, bye.
Bye, boys and girls. Well, hey guys, as you can see, we're talking a little bit about patience. And yes, throughout all of this time, we've been at home staying for a while, and that has required a lot of patience. So it's going to continue to require patience as we try to get things back started. So just remember, you should be patient throughout all of this. So I want to show you something. Here's one for Pastor Kevin.
All right.
So boys and girls that are watching, do you guys know what these are? So I want you to comment if you know what these are. All right? See if you know what those are. Anybody? Now, when you sit down at dinner time, you want a nice cold drink most of the time with ice. This is actually an ice tray. It's an ice maker. So if you don't have one of those things on your refrigerator where you go in and just push your glass and get ice, you might have some of these where you have to make your own ice. It's an ice tray.
Well, anybody have one of these at home? Do you know how it works? Anybody get any comments? The Cynips say we miss you. We miss you guys
Oh, we
too.
miss you guys.
But so you take the water, right?
Put the water in.
Put the water in. Then what do?
You sit it nice and flat inside your freezer, and then it starts to freeze and it makes cubes. And once after a day or so, when it's frozen, you take them out, and then you have to kind of twist them to pop them out of place.
So you got to wait a whole day for this?
You might have to wait a whole day.
Huh.
And it takes time. Now, the problem with ice cubes is that it does take a while to freeze. I mean, it does. So if you pull them out too soon, guess what happens? The top might have ice on it, but the inside might not be ready yet, and it might be still full of water. And so if you put it in your Pepsi or Pastor Chuck's Mountain Dew, it would water down your drink. And I don't like watered down drink, all right? So unless it's ice water, then it would be okay. But for tea and things like that, you don't want to water it down. So it does take some time. I like it. I like cold drinks better than warm drinks. All right. I mean, who likes warm Coke or warm Mountain Dew?
Yeah. That's not good. That's not good.
Now, so we have to wait for the ice cubes to freeze, and it's worth it. All right. Now, do you know that there are a lot of things in life that require patience? Now, there's a lot of things that require patience. Sometimes it's hard to wait for the end of the week. Now, for you guys, the end of the school year, some of you have been at home. You haven't had to deal with school as much. But I remember when I was in school, I just couldn't wait for summer to get here. So, required patience. Anything else? Maybe you had to wait for the weekend. Christmas, you were always waiting for Christmas. It seemed like you were having to wait a long time for that. Your birthday.
Have you ever made homemade ice cream?
I have.
Yes.
That's the worst. You have to wait and wait and
and
wait until
And
it
you also have
freezes.
to like do it around, and I've used actual thick snow gloves to do it.
Oh, yep. So just waiting. Think about growing up. Some of you just can't wait till you're 16 and you get to have a car, and you want to be able to drive, so you just can't wait for that to happen. Well, the Bible teaches us that we need to learn patience. All right, we need to learn patience. Many things in life take time, so of course we need to be more patient than we are. The more patient we are, think about it, the more we will enjoy life. People that are impatient, they're constantly worried, they're always just ready for this to happen or that to happen. I don't think they enjoy life to its fullest.
They don't see what's going on around them.
Yeah. Because if you spend all your time being impatient, you're going to miss out on what God is wanting you to see or what He's wanting you to do, what He has in store for you each day. So you need to just kind of slow down sometimes. Yeah. So there's a saying that good things happen to those who wait. So I believe that in many cases is true. So sometimes we do have to wait.
And patience is a part of the fruits of the Spirit.
That's exactly right.
In Galatians 5:22, I'm going to read this. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law." So the Bible's telling us that those are the good things that God gives us, that when we accept Christ as our Savior, the Holy Spirit brings those things in our lives, and it helps us to deal with life. And sometimes we just have to wait, and that's patience. But God helps us to wait, and like Pastor Stephen said, when we wait and wait, good things really do come to us. So that's a good reminder.
So just like with church opening back up and going out back shopping and doing all the things that we want to do, sometimes we do need to be patient and just kind of wait, because I think out of all of this that we've been out of school and we've been out of church, I think God has something really amazing that's going to take place. I think He's going to show us that it was well worth just kind of stopping and
I think we realize how much we miss our friends and how special they are. And when we get back together, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So the next time you feel impatient, remember the ice tray. The wait will be worth it. So be patient.
Very cool.
Anything else? Got anything
I think
else?
that's it. It's been a lot of fun today. Thanks to Greta and Maddie for playing the games.
Thank you. We're not going to
play that next week.
Next
We'll see.
week we may do a continued game show type thing. So maybe you guys have some games at home that you think would be fun for us to play. You can give us a shout out and let us know that. So that would be pretty cool. We could do another game show next week.
Send us your videos of your memorization in Awana. Send us good news that we can share, what God is doing in your life. If you just want to send us a video saying, hey, so do that this week, and we can share that. We're excited about Sunday, the drive-in church. Remember, 11:15, you can just show up to the church. We'll have people to show you exactly where to park. We'll tell you the radio station. You can tune your radio, and you'll be able to hear it and worship with us on the lawn. So drive-in church on Sunday. We're so excited about that.
I was going to see if one of our girls here would like to pray. Would one of you like to pray? Greta, you want to pray? You don't have to raise your hand. Come up here, Greta.
Get over here, Greta, so they can see you.
Kind of see you right there. There you go. All right. Well, after Greta prays, we're going to just say goodbye to you guys. So we hope that you enjoyed today's show, and we look forward to seeing you next time. So Greta, go ahead.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you that we all get to be here together. And thank you that we can still do this live stream. I pray that the drive-in on Sunday goes well, and I pray that everyone stays safe. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
We love you.
Love
We miss
you.
you. See you soon. Bye.
Awesome.
All right, good job,
Yeah.
girl.
Yay.
Good job.
Awesome.
We just play this to fire.
Wow.
Yeah, hey Greta,
Yes.
we gotta head out.
No, I don't want to go.
Yours.
Schoolwork done.
Oh, you still got
No.
schoolwork? When's your last day of schoolwork? You know?
We're not exactly
They're going
sure.
through
I guess June 5th, but